City. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm excited because the last time we shot, aside of the videos that you had, it was only the group of people that you see in the videos doing it. So, you know, I get to put some everyday people do it, which is really cool. How you sign up? Come do it in my house. I can extend invitations, but not that close, you know. What else? Any more? Just
keep talking.
What's that? Oh, Strive. But that's not a Beachbody program, right? Alright, well anyway, one of my personal fitness programs is Strive. Strive is strengthen some real intense dance exercise, and the reason I developed that was because I traveled around the country. There's so many different gyms and stuff like that, and just traveling a lot, just going to gyms and taking classes. And I realized that there's like the dance classes, and then there's the fitness classes, but you know, it's never really fused together in a great way. So I was like, I want to combine like some cool choreography with some really high intense moves where it's built into the choreography. So if you're a dancer and you like want to groove, you know what I mean? You actually gotta get down and do some push-ups and you know. So you know you can dance and tone at the same time. Hopefully one day Beachbody will bring it, you know. We'll see. But they don't want me to dance anymore. They're like, you're not the dancer anymore. I'm like, yes I am. If I have these jeans on, I'll throw a bop mouth in here. Dancing is still my passion. So that's, you know, we'll see what happens.
Hey Shaun, I think a lot of us have a question of, tell us how you got started and how your life has changed over the last couple of years.
I got started because I was actually, some people may know this, but I was 50 pounds overweight. When I went to college, I gained mad weight. You know, I was drinking, eating pizza, the free food card that you get when you, well, it's not free, but you think it's free. And I gained a lot of weight, and one day, you know, I think I got out the shower or something. I was like, because, you know, I was a track athlete, and I got a track scholarship, and I got an academic scholarship, and I took my mom was like, take the academic scholarship, because you can run track at that school, too, and you don't have to rely on your body of getting hurt and stuff like that. So I took the academic scholarship, and I was just, you know, I started as a communications major in school, and I gained weight, and I was like, you know, being a track athlete and, you know, having a different body than I was used to, it just made, I was just like, this is over. So one day I started going to the gym, and when I ran track and played sports in high school, I never really went to the gym because, you know, I was on a sports team, and we may have lifted weights, you know, while we were training, but I never really did it. So I started going to the gym every day, and I would just run for 10 minutes on a treadmill. That's all I would do, like as fast as I could. And then I started to lose a little weight, and I started lifting weights. But I changed my major from communications to sports science because I was just like, I have this passion for fitness, and I love being in shape, and I love being healthy. And then in one of my classes, they were like, you have to teach an aerobic class. And I was like, aerobic class? I was like, teaching an aerobic class. So I got the grind workout, the MTV grind workout. And one girl was doing like the salt and pepper thing. So I learned that routine, and I had to teach a class. So I taught a hip-hop class. And you know, I have a nice personality, so it's kind of popular. So anyway, 90 people showed up to my class, right? I'm like, holy crap. So I had to break it into 2 different classes, and I taught 2 different classes, and the director of the gym was like, you have to get on a schedule. And I was like, okay. So I go home, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I was like, wait, I stole that choreography from a video. I have to make up dance moves. So then I actually bought like a whole bunch of like hip-hop body shop. I don't know if people know these things, but maybe some people are shaking their head. I'm trying to think of something. Anyway, so I started doing that, and then I started making my own choreography. Then I added dance minor to my major, and I got involved in the dance department at Rowan. And all this time, I just was losing weight. I just started losing weight. And at that time is when I developed hip-hop abs, because all the guys that danced had their shirts off, and I was like, I want to take my shirt off, you know. And, you know, so I developed this thing where you just like, I would be in my class, I'd be like, hold your stomach tight, you know, whatever. And so from that, I did a big show, and I got jobs in the community, and then I became a big choreographer in New Jersey. Kathy Smith's test group, Project U. So I helped her choreograph all of those videos, all of the Project U videos. It was really fun working with her. But I worked with her, and we shot the infomercial, and I met Carl, I think, and John, like, for a split second, and they were like, who's that kid? And they just kind of switched me to the side. And I was like, watch what happens. So I just went back to Equinox. I just kept teaching. I forgot to tell you that when I actually started teaching that first class back in college, I was like, one day I want to have my own fitness videos. But I just kind of threw it out there. Like, I'm the kind of person I throw it out there, and then I'll just see what happens. And then so I started teaching at Equinox again. My class was really popular. And then they came, one of the producers came and was like, you know, we really love your class. Do you want to come get in front of the camera at Beachbody? And you know, I think at the time I was like 25 or something like that. And I was like, sure. You know, I was a professional dancer. I was used to auditioning and stuff like that. So I went there and they were like, it's only going to be 10 minutes. We want to see what you look like on camera. Well, 2 hours later, I was up in there grooving. I was like, giggling. You know, I was giggling. And then, that's, you know, we started developing hip-hop class. And it was the biggest, like, most amazing thing in my life. And it was interesting because I was able to, like, have fun, you know, and just do what I love to do, which is dance and act crazy. And they would, you know, Beachbody kept coming. They were like, you know, you're gonna make these videos, but it's not, you know, infomercials may work and they may not work, you know. And I always said, I was like, as long as I change one person's life, like, it's cool. Like, I was like, it was worth it, you know what I mean? So, like, literally the second day that the infomercial came on, one of my producers called me and she was like, you're gonna change some lives. And she's like, it's gonna be a big success. And I was like, okay, it still didn't hit me because, you know, I grew up in the hood, like, I mean, I grew up on food stamps and the whole thing, so I was just like, okay, I'm on TV, whatever. Like, it was just, I was just, you know, just being Shaun, you know, or Shaun T, as my family calls me. And then so it was just amazing. And still not until this year, like, when the second Insanity infomercial came out, did it really hit, like, wait a minute, you're changing more than one life, you know what I mean? So that was just like, it's been just the most humbling experience of my life. Like, I'm like, you know, we're on a plane all the time, and I'm always like, why me? Like, I'm just, like, having a good time, you know? And so, you know, I just love to inspire people, and I love to motivate. My religion is the golden rule. Like, when I was in second grade, first grade, I was 6 years old, and the teacher had, like, this thing above the chalkboard that said the golden rule is, it was this monkey, and it was like, do unto others as you have others do unto you. And I was like, oh my God, like, if I'm nice to people, they'll be nice to me. And from that point, like, I just was like, I'm just gonna be nice to everybody, you know what I mean? And so, I'm not nice all the time, I have to let some people have it, but you know, the core of me is just to, like, you know, make people smile. I ain't gonna make everybody smile. Not everybody's gonna like my program. I don't think any one of my programs is made for everybody. That's why I have 4 different ones and 2 kids programs, because it's like I would never be like, get Insanity everybody, because some people might not like it, you know what I mean? But, you know, I put out different videos just because, you know, I think everybody needs something different. And I mean, if you like the Shaun T thing, you know, take it all. But if not, you know, maybe I'll come out with one that you'll do next time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, even the people that come up to me are like, I just watched the infomercial and I eat Haagen-Dazs. I'm like, okay. But one day you might switch over. As long as if you watch the whole 30 minutes, good for you. It's something happening to you. But anyway, I don't know, I love Beachbody, I love what they do, I love every single program. Like, people come to me like, you know, I like Insanity, but I don't like this program. I'm like, okay, don't do it. You know, I like P90X, but Insanity's too much cardio. Okay, don't do it. Keep doing P90X as long as you're happy. That's all you want to do. So that's, you know, that's what it is. That's it.